Hey everybody, I think we're live. I'll just do a little check. If anyone here you can hear me, a little sound check, please just drop me a message. Looks like there's 21 of you. Good evening. Some human interactions. Yeah, coming from Alberta, Canada. Fantastic, Maureen. Thank you for joining us. It's great. We're reaching people all over the place, and that's terrific. Hi, Joan. Hi. Excellent. I would say I hope you all had a good weekend, because it wasn't a good weekend, was it? But hopefully you all stay well, healthy, and found a bit of peace. Barnaby, thank you for joining us. Sally, Sylvia, hi everybody. Okay, so this weekend I posted some experimental ideas about teaching cloud hands. I always find that a little bit challenging teaching it in a class, so I thought maybe I'd try some different ways. I had some terrific feedback, really useful feedback, so that's helped me a lot thinking how I'm going to teach online. So appreciate everyone that hi everyone, and I appreciate everyone that gave me some feedback, got my mind thinking about how to teach this movement. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do a quick warm-up. We're going to really review the first few movements that we learned last week. If you didn't join us last week, all of the videos are still on the channel. You can go to the channel and watch them again to catch up, and that way you get the hang of the movements. So we're just going to do a quick review of those, and we're going to spend most of today's lesson looking at wave hands like clouds and giving you some more details. So let's begin. Let's do a warm-up. We're going to do some shaking out first. Start with the wrists. Make your hands completely floppy, relaxing all the muscles in the forearms, up to the shoulders. And then do some bouncing on the balls of the feet. Imagine that piece of string from the crown of your head lifting you up. Back is straight, there's no leaning. Now we're going to practice turning the hips. If you recall, the knees are bent, the knees remain pointing forwards. One foot pushes into the floor, one foot pulls. So you get a rotation. The whole pelvis and the belly button, the whole thing is rotating as one, without twisting here. Just rotating, rotating. And then we'll add some relaxed swings. Don't use the muscles in your arms, just let them hang completely loose. The movement of the arm just simply comes from the turning of the hips. Now the next one. If you remember, the hand in front hits this point, which is a lung point. The hand at the back, just behind the belly button, which is called the Mingmen point, the door of life in Chinese. So this exercise is sometimes called knocking at the door of life. Loosen your waist. Okay, next exercise. I'll take this off. This one my teacher really likes. Some people have tight upper back and shoulders. This is around the shoulder blade area, upper back area. So this movement is like you're going to throw a basketball. You're going to hold the basketball in your hands, bring it over your head. There's a bend of the knees, and then a throw. You relax. When you throw, look up and forwards. Imagine a basket, you're throwing the ball up and forwards. Don't look down. Let the arms swing freely. And this is very good for, as I said, warming up, relaxing the upper back and shoulders. teacher does this one every day. Yeah, it's the brief warm up today. Now we're going to review the set. I'm just going to check the messages from everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, hi everybody. Right, now a little bit warmed up, nice and loose. We're going to do our routine, and I'm going to turn my back to you because most of the feedbacks people find it easier to follow along when my back's towards you. So I'm going to do the opening form first. So step out. Equalize the weight, relax. Remember, we need to get the internal state of sung, which is to loosen. Space in the armpits, space in the hips. All of the joints expanding. Relax. Imagine that crown lifted up, spine is straight. Breathing from the abdomen, not from the chest. Once you're in that state, we're going to begin the sequence. I'm going to turn my back to you, and we're going to go through it once, okay? Commencing form. Hands come up, knees bend, down. Repulsing monkey. Look back, push. Other side, look back, push. Brush the knee and push, shift the weight. Look to the hand, turn, step empty, brush the knee, and push. Turn around, so sit back first, turn your toes in, pick up your hand, this is like you're looking into a mirror. Turn the waist, step, brush the knee, push. Now we do parting the wild horse's mane. Your left hand goes past the face, toes in, hold the ball, turn, step, shift, back, hold the ball, turn, step, and shift. Step up. Okay. Let's do that once again. Move this down a little so you can see my feet a little better this time, okay? How was that? Okay, one more time. Commencing form. Repulsing monkey. Brush knee and push. Parting the horse's mane. And equalize the weight first. Straighten the knees. Drop your wrists first. And then your fingers. Okay, how did we find that? Any questions? Any problems? Let me know. If not, then we're going to start with the cloud hands. Also, remember, you can watch that as many times as you like because it will be on the channel. You can rewind and watch it as many times as you need. People finding that they can learn. I know some of you guys have already learned the sequence, but if you're new to it, how is the teaching speed? About right? Too fast, too slow? Give me some feedback. Great. Okay. Seeing you from the back works. Thanks. That's fine. Great. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. All right. Cloud hands. I'm sitting down. You can do it standing or sitting. It's absolutely fine. So here's what we're going to do. Grateful me as a newbie. That was what I mainly wanted to know. My cat trying to join in by my feet. Can't help about that. Shirley says, okay, fantastic. Thank you. Right. So wave hands like clouds. This is the mirroring. So when I teach this, people get worried about left hand, right hand. Is it clockwise? Is it anti-clockwise? I don't want you to think about any of that, right? I'm not going to worry about left or right, clockwise or anti-clockwise. You're going to mirror, or I'm going to mirror. So I'm going to take my index finger. This is my left hand, but you're going to do it with your right hand and you're going to touch. Imagine you're touching my index finger. So it could be like a mirror, like we're cleaning a mirror or something like that, okay? So when I make a circle, when I move my hand this way, you're just going to stay with me, right? We're going to use just the fingertip. I'm putting my other hand on my belly button just so that you can see that my hips are moving, right? You can do that if you want because it will help you feel it, but not necessary. So all I'm worrying about is making a smooth circle. Imagine this is like a paintbrush and you're painting a circle and you want the paint to be smooth and even. You want the pace of the movement to be smooth and even. The hand is about as high as my eyes, a little above my eyes, see that? And then it's lower than the waist. It actually is across the top of the thighs. Okay, what I want you to do is feel that the center is leading the hand. So we say qua dai sao, means the hips lead, the hand follows. The sense is that the hand is only the expression of the movement which originates from the hips. Now let's do the same thing with the other hand. Imagine your hand touching my hand. Down. I'm going to put my other hand here now so you can see what my center's doing. What you'll notice is that the center leads and the hand follows, not the other way around. It's not the hand moves like this and then the center follows. Rather, the center turns, the hand follows the center. Make a nice circle. And see how much you can relax your shoulder. Your hand should feel like it's floating, like seaweed under the water, just floating with the current. You're using the minimum necessary muscular effort just to move the hand and not a fraction more. It's just the most efficient. Okay, now we're going to do two hands together. But don't panic. If you just think of matching my hands, your hand matches my hand. Okay, so your right hand, your left hand. Now I've changed so that I've turned my palm towards me rather than a finger. But it's the same feeling. We have one point. Again, see how much you can relax your shoulders. Just empty the arms of strength. Don't have the idea of strength at all. Just, again, like you're floating in the water. It's empty, totally relaxed, releasing all of the tension. The eyes look in the direction of the hand that's on top. So here, your eyes will be following your right hand. Here, your eyes will be following your left hand. But don't think left and right. I don't think that's helpful. Just the hand that's on top, the eyes are following. And that's on top, the eyes are following. Okay, drop me some feedback. Has everyone got that? Because coordination is a problem. So how are we doing? Cat is waving paws like clouds. Yeah, actually, this movement in the southern Shaolin, in the Hong Kong, they call it the cat washes his face. In the Hapkun, we call it Chong Fong Pao Choi. In the Tai Chi, wave hands like clouds. It's a movement pattern that you see in lots of martial arts. Got it? Good. Already mastered Tiger Claw. Awesome. Yep. Okay, so now you've got the idea of the movement, then we can add the detail. I find that more useful than if you're fixed with detail, what happens? You lose the whole picture. So you're thinking about, oh, my hand must be here, and then everything else is gone. I really suggest you get the shape first from the center. When it becomes like automatic, just add a small detail, like for example, where the shoulder is, how the weight shifts, how the waist turns, what point the hand turns. But if you can't think about all these things at once, it's just, it's mind-blowing. So just get the whole thing first, get the whole thing, the whole movement, the whole pattern, then begin to just add detail. So if you imagine like painting, you ever seen in Zen, they'll often make a painting, which is just like a splatter, like almost looks like an accident, like someone kicked a paint can over. It's just a bleh. And then the master will come along and he'll make a few tiny little lines with a bamboo brush and he'll hang it up and you'll step back and you go, whoa, it's a bird perched on a branch. Like, what? Because why? Because it only needs a few tiny details to bring out the whole thing. And that's a particular in the Chinese landscape painting, you'll see that. Okay, searching hands in Kempo. Yeah, I think it's a very common movement. All right, so okay, follow me, guys. I'm going to shift the weight and turn. So again, I'll put my hand in my belly button, just so that my thumb in my belly button, so you can see what my center's doing. I shift, I turn. Shift the weight, turn the hip. Shift the weight, turn the hip. Shift the weight, turn the hip. Okay, now adding the hands. You're going this way. Okay, you're mirroring me, so this will be your right hand. Shift the weight, turn the hips. Shift the weight, turn the hips. Just like before, but we've added an element, which is the weight shifting rather than staying in the middle. But what we don't do is rotate the waist and turn at the same time. We shift the weight, then we turn. Shift, rotate, hand relaxes. Shift, rotate, hand relaxes. Shift, rotate. Pay attention to the feeling of your hands. How soft. If you have tension in the fingers or the wrists, you'll kind of feel it. They'll feel like tight. I want you to, if you completely relax, you lose that sense. Your hands feel like you could pass something solid through them, like they're made of light or something like that. Very, very relaxed. The crown of the head is lifted up. So when you're rotating one axis across the hip. You shift the weight to the other leg, you rotate on the other hip. You shift, you rotate. You shift, you rotate. You shift, you rotate, shift, and rotate. Okay. So how do we find that? Transferring the weight, turning the hips, combining it with the hands. The next step will be to add some feet in. Is that going to be too much? Or is that going to overload you? Give me some feedback on that. I'm happy to do the feet today, or we can leave that till tomorrow. How do people feel about that? It was soothing. I really like practicing this movement. You can get into a kind of a trance. You can do this for 20 minutes or so, and it just everything relaxed. Add the feet. Try. You guys are up for it. Challenge accepted. Okay, we'll go for it. Maybe with the feet. Okay, for me, I practice on Saturday. We can add the feet. Okay, sounds like we've got some keen people. Please follow me. Okay, I'll just say a little thing. Classically, in traditional Tai Chi, the movement is practiced to one direction. So the steps all go in the same direction. I go off camera. Right? That's traditional. Most people now are practicing for health, so things tend to be mirrored left and right. You need to understand that for martial arts, there are two kinds of technique. There's your attacking techniques and your defensive techniques. Now, when you are defending, right, you don't know where the attack's coming from. You need to be able to defend both sides. When you're attacking, you're choosing which way you're moving. Therefore, people tend to practice favored attacks more on one side. If you look at boxers, they spend most of the time with 1 foot forward. Judo players will tend to throw on one side, favor. Jiu-jitsu people tend to favor one side submission. If you've done something 1,000 times on one side, you'll be better at it than if you've done 500 on each. However, we practice for relaxation, for health. It's good to balance the body. So what we're going to practice for now is to do a stepping to the left and a stepping to the right. So the whole form is symmetrical. And the other good thing about this is it enables you to practice in a very small space, which is great for now, right? So follow me through. Can you see my feet? I think I might just move this down, even if you can't see my head, just so you can close up on my feet a little bit. Okay, close up on my feet. And you can also see where my center is. Shift the weight, turn the hips. Now your right leg should have no weight in it, so it's an easy thing to pick it up and to place it gently next to the left foot. Goes down with the ball of the foot. Now we're going to shift the weight. Turn the hips. Now the left leg is empty. You can pick it up and you can step it out. Just a comfortable distance. Shift the weight and turn the hips. Now we're going to go back the other way. Shift the weight. Turn the hips. This will be your right foot. I'm sorry to confuse you. But it's going to step in because you're mirroring. Step in close. Shift the weight. Turn the hips. And the empty leg can step. Shift the weight. Turn your hips. Now we come back again. So, turn, step, shift, turn, step, shift, turn. So the first shift, step in. The second shift, step out. The third shift, no step. So in, out, no step. In, out, no step. Ready? In, out, no step. In, out, no step. In, out, no step. In, out, no step. Now I'm going to give you some details. When I step in, I don't bring my feet to touch. I always keep, traditionally they say one fist distance between. Why? Because now I can turn my center. You can try this as an experiment. If you bring your feet to touch together, you won't be able to turn your hips. If your feet are a little apart, just enough to make space in the qua, here, son qua, this part, more relaxed, more relaxed, more relaxed. The next detail is your knees are bent so that you maintain the same height. So when I shift the weight, I shouldn't be doing this, up and down. I should come across and rotate, same level, cross and rotate, same level, cross and rotate. So let's repeat the exercise. We're going to start from here. Shift, rotate, step in, but keep a little space. Shift, rotate, step out, only a comfortable distance. Shift, rotate, no step. Shift, rotate, fist distance. Shift, rotate, empty step. See that? Shift, rotate, no step. But you're always emptying one leg. So shift, The leg that's empty will step. Transfer the weight. Remember I was saying about pouring water from one glass into another. It's a useful analogy because it makes you make the movement very smooth. You're not trying to spill any water. It'll be continuous and smooth. Shift and back. Okay. How do we do with the step? It says feet. Arg. Was that complicated? Did we get the idea? Can everyone get the feet? In, out, no step. In, out, no step. In, out, no step. In, out, no step. How was that? Finally getting the shift first and the turn after a bit better. I think it's worth, spend some time on that. It's very important. Confident to try the whole thing. Oh yeah. Good, okay. If you don't get it, here's the thing. Some people pick this stuff up much quicker than others. Reminds me of dancing. Yeah, very similar. Some people pick this stuff up faster than others, but the people that pick it up fastest aren't necessarily the best. Some people pick it up very quick, but other people take longer to get it, but when they get it, they do it even better. So I wouldn't worry if it takes you longer or if you're quicker, great. But just because you remember it doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. You have to practice. Most important is practice. So keep going, keep practicing. Right, grand finale tonight. I agree, it's nice and relaxing. Good, grand finale tonight is to do the hands and feet together. Okay. Maybe I'll bring this down a little bit. Start with the feet apart. The weight is in the right leg. Going to drop the hand. I say right leg, sorry, I keep saying this because I'm used to teaching facing the same way as the class. I want you guys to mirror me. So drop the hand, shift the weight, turn the hips, step. Now, you shift, you turn. Remember I said the hand follows the waist. Now at the end, the palm turns out. That's when you're going to step. Okay, let's look at that again. Keep your hand the same direction as your nose and your belly button. And at the end, turn your palm, there's your step. Drop the hand. You're going to shift the weight. You're going to rotate. There's the step. Drop the hand. Shift the weight. Rotate. There's no step there. Down. Shift. Rotate. And at the end, step. So it arrives together. The foot arrives at the same time as the hand arrives. There. Rotate. No step. Foot arrives, same time as the hand turns out. You want to concentrate on smooth, circular, and continuous. Those are the three words I want you to think about when you're practicing cloud hands. Smooth, circular, so there are no angles or breaks. Continuous. So there's no break, there's pause. Smooth energy, circular movement, continuous pace. And you're also exercising pretty well every joint in the body with this movement. But as relaxed away as you can. Your hand follows mine. Shift, rotate, step. Shift, rotate, step. Shift, rotate. Now from here, we'll just come back. Straighten up. Drop your wrists. Did you do it? If you did hands and feet first lesson, you're doing exceptionally well. If you didn't, don't worry. Keep repeating it. Do it as many times as you need to. Anyone have a epiphany there and get the hands and feet working together? Some of you just about got the hands, I had the feet, and then you lose the hands. That's normal. I'd expect some of you to feel like that. So don't worry. Don't need to. That was the hardest, but I got the hang of it. Great. Excellent. Good. If you haven't got it, don't be shy. It's all good. And if you have any questions, please ask me and I'm happy to. Yes, mostly getting better a bit. Good. Good. First lesson. So I generally, if I teach in a class, most people don't pick up cloud hands for like 2 or 3 sessions before it starts to click. So who says you can't learn online, right? Some things you can, some things you can't, but some things you can. Some practicing feels natural. Counterbalancing the hands with the feet. Yes, same. Got the idea, but maybe 100%. Hey, you know what? None of us are 100% perfect. My teacher says he's 95, so that makes me less than 95, and I've been doing it like 35 years. So never get 100. So that's okay. That means you give yourself permission to say, oh, if it's 50% right, that's okay. And then maybe next week it'll be 55. But here's the important thing. This is what I want you guys to understand. Most of the health benefit doesn't come from doing the movement perfectly. Really understand. It's important you understand that. The health benefit comes from relaxing and feeling the movements, getting the consciousness to guide the movements, having your intention in harmony with your energy and your physical movements. That's more important than whether the form is correct. You can do the textbook form, it can be perfect, but if you've not got the feeling and relaxing, you won't get the health benefits. You can do the form 50% right, but you're really getting into it, you're really relaxing, you're going to get the health benefits from Tai Chi. Of course, if you're doing martial arts and you're fighting, your technique needs to be good, particularly if your opponent knows what they're doing, right? But we're practicing to relax for health. It doesn't have to be perfect, and give yourself permission to kind of do it 50%. Is fine, as long as nothing's hurting, as long as you're not putting strain on the joints. If that's the case, let me know and we'll try and fix it for you. Okay, so I think we've run over time. Yes, we have. I will do the same time tomorrow. I would like to integrate that exercise in with the sequence, so we will start from the beginning and we'll go all the way up to the cloud hands, perhaps adding another movement if people are okay with that, or answering any questions. So if you want to do a Q&A, anything on any of the movements so far that's not clear, I'd actually quite like to start the session with a Q&A if we have the questions. If we don't, we'll go straight into something else. So, okay, thank you, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow. And thanks for all your feedback. Thanks for your comments. I really appreciate it. Makes it much better for me teaching. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. So, and I do appreciate all of your messages, all of your support, all of your help. And then let's get through the next little while together. And thank you for those of you that have visited from a long distance as well. And stay safe, stay healthy. See you tomorrow.